In January 2021, Shark uploaded a video exposing the heartless abuse of tigers and other animals by Jeffrey and Lauren Lowe, a couple best known for their role in the Netflix docuseries Tiger King. Jeff Lowe pried, some people say scammed, the Wynnewood Zoo from Joseph Maldonado Passage, aka Joe Exotic. In September 2018, Joe Exotic was arrested for a murder-for-hire scheme. He was convicted, then sentenced to 22 years in prison. The Lowes have since moved the zoo's animals to Thackerville, Oklahoma, with the intention of building a new zoo. But the Lowes ran into some obstacles. In the days before our January video was released, the Justice Department slapped the Lowes with a preliminary injunction. The Lowes were ordered to turn over tiger cubs less than a year old, as well as their mothers, to the U.S. government. This injunction stems from the government's ongoing lawsuit over the Lowes' alleged violations of the Endangered Species Act and the Animal Welfare Act. In December 2020, Shark gathered a lot of video evidence with our drones. The evidence documents the cruelty tigers, lions, and other animals endure at the hands of Jeff and Lauren Lowe. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the Lowes' victims. One of the most jaw-dropping issues is the lack of a secure perimeter fence around the property. Tigers and lions are not house cats. As history proves, big cats forced to live in captivity, or are stupidly kept as pets, can't be reliably domesticated. These are powerful animals weighing hundreds of pounds, and they should not be treated casually under any circumstance. In 2011, in Zanesville, Ohio, a troubled owner of exotic animals released them from their cages before killing himself. The owner had no secure perimeter fence around his property, so the animals escaped into the surrounding area. As a result, dozens of them were killed by police. If there had been a secure perimeter fence, these animals likely would have been tranquilized and safely recaptured. The lack of proper fencing demonstrates the Lowes' complete disregard for not only the safety of the big cats in their care, but also for the community living around them. Our footage also shows prey animals housed in clear view of the big cats. This is negligent, as it may create a constant state of agitation for both the predator and prey species. We mentioned in our previous video the poor quality of the food the animals were being fed. This is a major issue. Per the Justice Department's complaint, the Lowes have regularly provided food to their animals that is unwholesome, unpalatable, and/or contaminated, and of insufficient quantity and nutritive value to maintain the animal's good health. Shark's drones documented workers at the Lowe property doling out meat from a filthy barrel. The food was placed into a bucket containing repulsive-looking material. Once the waste material was emptied onto the ground, meat was put into the bucket without the bucket first being cleaned. A December 15, 2020 USD inspection report highlights a huge nutritional issue with the food being fed to the tigers. The Lowes use boneless chicken, which lacks the calcium the tigers get from eating the bones of their prey. If tigers are fed only chicken, they require supplements for the missing nutrients, which the Lowes failed to do. Our drone filmed multiple tigers in states of stress and agitation, as demonstrated by this repetitive movement. This is known as stereotypic behavior, and is a result of being confined in small enclosures. Animals deprived of any stimulation can easily turn on one another, and the results can quickly become tragic. The Justice Department complaint mentions that the Lowes failed to maintain adequate enclosures, which led to an older tiger being attacked by other tigers, resulting in the older tiger's death. It appears that many of the big cats are being kept in transport cages as a means of long-term housing, with no protection from the weather. This is woefully inadequate. The December 15, 2020 USD inspection report states, "Most of the enclosures housing the big cats do not provide shelter from inclement weather. While big cats are generally cold weather tolerant, protections from discomfort due to climatic conditions, such as wind, rain, and snow, is required. The sizing of the cages is also too small for such large animals. Some of the big cats are being housed temporarily in enclosures that measure 8 feet wide by 14 feet long by 7 feet tall. Adult cats must be able to exhibit normal postural adjustments and require more than 7 feet of height in an enclosure in order to freely stand on their rear legs and stretch. A large part of the DOJ's case focuses on the poor treatment and illegal exhibition of tiger cubs. The complaint includes one story that is very telling about how Jeff and Lauren Lowe view the animals in their care. During the June 22, 2020 inspection, the APHIS inspectors observed Nala, whose body condition was so poor they believed her to be a 4 to 5 month old juvenile. Nala at the time was 10 months old. Pursuant to a court order, Nala, along with 2 other lion cubs, was transferred to a wildlife sanctuary in Colorado. Nala was evaluated by Colorado State University. CSU found that Nala is underweight and undersized for her age. Nala had difficulty standing and was lame. Her vitamin A level was so low that the deficiency can cause changes in bone development, especially in the skull, neurological abnormalities, and even death. In addition, both of Nala's ears were excoriated and ulcerated from fly strikes. Fly strike dermatitis is a condition in which flies continuously attack, bite, and penetrate the skin of an animal, laying eggs on open or irritated skin and causing infestations of maggots. This painful condition is preventable. Due to the Lowe's failure to provide adequate nutrition and care, Nala has suffered from painful and potentially life-threatening conditions. Nala's story illustrates that the big cats only matter to the Lowe's when they're bringing in money. When they are not profitable, they are allowed to literally waste away. Shark filmed 2 cubs separated from their mothers and housed together. These are the money makers for Jeff and Lauren Lowe because they can exhibit them for people who are too ignorant or careless to understand the harm they are perpetuating. The cubs' removal from the Lowe property by the government ensures that they won't be put on display or subjected to the cruelty Nala had to endure. You can help put an end to cub petting operations and the private ownership of big cats by people like the Lowes. Please contact your federal legislators and ask them to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act. You can go to bigcatact.com to learn more about the process. The Netflix docuseries Tiger King became a sensation because the people involved were portrayed as wacky characters. But people like Jeff and Lauren Lowe, Joe Exotic, and other big cat breeders aren't wacky, and they aren't just characters on a TV show. They are real, calculating monsters who know how to skirt the law so they can viciously abuse and kill animals for fame and profit. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to see more of our investigations and learn what you can do to help Shark help animals. If you'd like to support Shark directly and gain access to exclusive content, please consider sponsoring us on Patreon.